Hello and welcome to the Mama Means Business podcast. I'm your host, Siobhan Bent, mom, mortgage broker, and legacy coach, here with another amazing episode with one of my fellow boss moms, Miss Gifty. Gifty, how are you? And welcome to the podcast.
I'm good. Thank you, Siobhan, for having me. I appreciate it. I'm good. Like I said earlier, I'm breathing, so I'm good. I'm here.
If you're breathing, check. You're good. I
Yes,
love it.
I'm alive. It's a good thing. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so I usually start the show with the guest to just introduce yourself and let the people know who is Gifty of BallerMom.
Okay, so my name is Gifty. I am the founder of BallerMom Canada, located here in Toronto, Ontario. I have two boys, 13 and 15, going on 20 and 30. um, we're an active family. We're pretty much involved with the sports world and as well as school, church, and family life. Just like everybody else, just trying to do the best you can for your kids and, in between find something for yourself. That's it.
Okay, and so how did BallerMom, like, how did you get here? What triggered you to begin your organization?
I triggered it. It got triggered because my kids like playing the sport. I started with them being in not house, community sports like the Parks and Recs. We did basketball, we did soccer, we did baseball. No, not baseball. He did swimming, karate, a whole bunch of things. But as we progressed, we realized that basketball was one of the sports that they were really good at, and I wanted them to be more competitive.
Right.
And as I keep looking for more information, it was hard to find. So what I realized that because I have this intuitive to just consistently question things and ask questions, so the more information I was finding, I was sharing with other people that was saying they want their kids to do that. But then another parent was like, Gifty, you're telling me this over the phone, you're telling me over WhatsApp. Maybe you could put it on a way where other people can see the information, all the places that you find. And that's how it started. So I started creating my Instagram account, just sharing the things that I was finding, different organizations that was helping or that could help somebody. And that was it. Initially, I thought, oh, let me just wear a cool shirt that says BallerMom on it. But it's kind of become more than just a shirt or a hoodie. As I find more information, I realize this is not just me that needs this info. Other parents need it. And I've been doing this for like 5 years now, I believe, for a while.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
I know it's weird. It throws me off when I think about a number of years, but yeah.
It's like your third
And so
baby.
far it's been doing good. Yeah, but it's a good one, the one that behaves.
The one that does what you tell it to do.
Exactly. I get to control that one. They
I hear
listen.
that. Awesome. So tell me a little bit about more. So you said you gather information. So what exactly does BallerMom offer to the community? For those who are listening, we are located in the Greater Toronto area, but I'm assuming that the information that you share, Gifty, is applicable to it province-wide? Any person or parents
Province-wide.
Okay.
Yeah, or even I have some parents in the States as well too. So what I pretty much do is I'm thinking more of we're not just parents with kids that play sports. So if your kid plays whatever the level that they're at, maybe they want to learn how to switch from one team to another. Maybe in the team that they're in, the child is not getting enough playtime and they want to know how I can go about it. So I'll be like, okay, well, you can do more training. Oh, but what do I do with training? Okay, these are the different trainers that offer training. These are the locations. This is what they do. So I can connect you with them and see if that fits you based on your child's needs, if that works for you. If somebody is looking for, okay, my kid gets injured all the time, how do I go about helping them? I mean, we have a family doctor, but not much. Okay, well, there's specialized people that actually help athletes or young athletes,
Okay.
making sure that they're healing properly. So these are the different physicians, these are the different clinics that you can go to. So those type of resources, information, because you can easily Google search it and you may
Right.
get different things, but the info you get may not necessarily fit what you want,
Right.
or that
Okay.
particular office might not work for what it is that you need. So what I provide is, okay, this is these individuals, these clubs, organizations, they're specialized in these areas. So
Okay.
if this is what you're looking for in that avenue, they can help you. And that's what I try to do. A lot of people are always looking for different tournaments to go to, different events to go to. So, or coaches are looking for players to add to their roster and things like that.
Right.
So that's what I
Okay.
do. I try to do a mishmash and say, okay, based on your criteria, this will fit here. You guys do see if that works. And ultimately, the decision is always up to each individual. But
For
I'm just
sure.
sort of doing the stepping stone and making sure that it takes a lot of the Google search and the spams that you may get when you search coming out of
Mm,
your system. There's one place
right.
to come in to get as much info as you can to take that next step as to wherever you want to take with your kids.
So it's
Yeah.
almost like you're the Google of basketball.
I can't, I don't know. But
Well, if they
I'll take
come
it as
to
a
you,
compliment.
they can find what they're looking for to help their children in the sport.
Yeah.
Like you're the Google, like you're like a hub.
I'll take it as a
Um,
compliment. Yeah.
you're welcome. Okay, so you said this, you've been doing this for 5 years. How have you found that it has helped you as a baller mom to be able to really build
Mhm.
your network in your community? Because I truly believe community is so helpful in the
Oh,
upbringing of our children.
you're so right. Community is so important. And I think personally it's opened my eyes
Mm-hmm.
to realize that it's, even though I'm sharing the information, I had to learn to separate myself from what I'm doing versus
Right.
being a parent. Because I can't, it's not about getting information for my kids anymore. I
Right.
still search things for them, but I had to find a way to say, okay, this is not just for me, it's bigger than me. There's other people out there at different levels of their process that this
Mm-hmm.
is supported. So the way I see it is, when I'm in a game or we're in a tournament or anything like that out there, people come to me and everybody has different perspective and different things. And thankfully, most of the feedback has been good, which is a good thing,
Right.
you know. But just making sure that everybody is different in where it is that these kids want to. Some people kids want to just make it to the next team. Some parents, their
Mm-hmm.
kids are shooting to the moon to go to NBA or
Mm.
MLSE or go to Manchester United or wherever they want to go to. And some kids are like, I just want my kid to play so that they have other people around them, the skills. So depending
Mm-hmm.
on where every parent is coming from, I find it that I'm learning as I go. I'm
Right.
still learning. I'm not 100%
Still
an
growing.
expertise, as I always say, because it's a feedback. It's back and forth. You know, there will be
Right.
days that what I may send you may work or may not work, but it's still a learning process. And I always say, like, I'm growing with it, and I'm actually like, I'm enjoying it. Every stage that I can, as much as I can, without making it just about me or my kids, because
For
it's a
sure.
community. And as I say, all the sports they do, unless it's like chess or golf, or it's just a one-on-one type of thing, these are team
Mm-hmm.
sports. So it's teaching
Right.
you to learn more about how to be a team player, not just as
Mm-hmm.
a parent, but also as a business person. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. I think we should step back for a second though, because you focus mainly, there's two types of leagues, right? Am I correct? There's
Yeah.
like the house league and then
The
um
competitive rep. Yeah.
competitive rep player. So just break that down for the listeners who have children who, and my son, he was started getting him into sports around 3, 4, but he that age it was only soccer available to him.
Mhm.
So yeah, just give a little bit of breakdown of what the difference is and like what the streamline is between
Okay.
both types of leagues.
So the development, or the house league as it's called, it's an introductory into the sport. So you're
Okay.
learning the basics of it, how to kick, how to hold the ball, how to run, whatever the specifics of it. It's the fundamental, like the fun,
Okay.
FUN part of it, where you're
Mm.
learning and the kids are enjoying it. The
Mm-hmm.
good thing about it is that once you, and most are often available within the cities that you're in. There's different organizations, but if you're like, say, the city of Brampton, they offer that. If you're city of Mississauga or Etobicoke,
Mm-hmm.
Scarborough, whatever division that you're in, Niagara, Hamilton, whatever, they all the city um, board have their facilities and their clubs that provide these services. So you sign up with it, maybe you're paying about what, 300, 250, depending on what the week is. And they range from like about up to 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks. It's a
Okay.
consistency where every week you're one place, you have the same practice.
Right.
Sometimes they'll have you play games against another age group, and you just know every week I'm bringing you here. Parents are allowed to sit and watch and get the kids just learning, and you can see them, progressing on a week to week basis. They get a T-shirt, they did
Mm.
cheers. It's fun.
Okay.
It's great.
Well,
But if
most of
you
us parents sit down and watch. Others of us, we do a little bit more than
drop
just
off,
watch. We
we're on our
screaming
phones,
and
someone
shouting
cheering,
and yelling at
whatever.
the ref. Yeah, I been
Yeah,
there, done that. But I'm
yeah,
better now. I'm
yeah.
doing much better now.
Oh, trust me, it's fun. Well, for the soccer, which is great because it's outdoor too, so you can bring your chair, relax. You can even do the treat scheduling where every parent take turns trying to feed the kids, and it's
Hmm.
beautiful because I feel like it's their introduction to being part of a team. Even though the
Right.
competition level is not as intense, it's still a
Right.
transitional era. So that's what they mean by house league or development. But when you
Okay.
get into the competitive side, it's a whole different ball game. What
Mm.
that is that you are traveling. So that one, most teams have a specific place where they practice. So every week, I'm going to so and so facility twice a week, 3 times a week, whatever it is. You're practicing with your team, and
Okay.
maybe every other weekend you have tournaments. And those tournaments, you're going to different locations. It
Okay.
may be the same location all the time, but just know that when you're doing the tournament, it's not always going to be where your team is practicing. So I always tell parents who are transitioning from the house league into the competitive side of it, just be prepared of the transportation, understand your family dynamics. Do you have
Mm.
more than one kid in different sports? Do you have support in making sure the kid get to the game when needed? If not, do you have a backup? Can you work with the coach? So those are different things you have to be thinking of. Not that the
Okay.
competition is too high, but also the family dynamic that you have to think of. And
Okay.
when you're there, you know that some of these kids, some just started, some are naturally born athletic, some are
Right.
learning. So the different techniques that come in will come. Um, Up until probably grade 6 or 7, most of the leagues allow what we call equal play, where everybody gets the opportunity to get the same time slot to play. So you get
Okay.
everybody 5 players on, 5 players off. That's at the competitive level. That's great. As you get into a different type of leagues, not everybody gets equal play. And that's where the issues could come in or misunderstanding can come in because it's like, wait a minute,
Why is
when we
my
were
son not
over
playing?
here, you were,
Yeah.
yeah, why did I play him? He's good and bring him in and all of that. So the mindset switching from saying it's equal opportunity versus earn opportunity is where I find most of my time supporting a lot of parents,
Okay.
understanding how that works. And that's where if they ask questions, I'm like, okay, maybe put them in additional training, maybe have more additional practices or something like that so they can earn those spots and continue
Right.
to excel in it. And it took us a while when we got there. We like, same thing. Wait, he was making 20 shots now. He only got 2 minutes and one shot. Like, what's going on, right? So it's that
Mm-hmm.
mindset and trying to help some parents who are transitioning from the development into the competitive side. It takes
Okay.
a while, but if you understand it, it helps you transition in a effective way as you can.
Okay. And so I guess the
Yeah.
rep is like the track to the NBA.
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Oh, the path to the NBA is like a mishmash. There's many
Well, like
different ways that
I think
people can get
I
into
guess
it.
with the
But
difference with Hout League and rep, I mean like it's more competitive. They're developing them to play professional ball, as what I'm
yes,
assuming,
yes,
correct?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. When you're at the competitive level, you are expected to play as if you're at a professional level. There's some teams with the elite name on it or anything like that, but it's expected that you are showing up on time to practice this. You are doing the drill at a game. You're on time. You're in your uniform. You're cheering from the bench. If you have 2 minutes on the court or the field, you're doing what you have to do. Like you are expected to be. Being treated like as if you are a mini pro athlete,
Right.
if that's
Okay.
a word. And there's a dynamic in there of it. So yeah, and you will see when you get there the different levels of play and the athletes are coming in, different coaches. And mind you, the coaches at a development level are a lot different when they're at the competitive level. So the
Okay.
different things come out of people. And you're talking about
Right.
cheering, screaming, say from as a parent. It's not like, good job. It's not like, go, 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 because we try to push it out of the kids, like you could do this. So but
Right.
it's fun. I mean, for me, I'm enjoying it, but I think the transition for some parents, sometimes it's hard.
It is.
But after you first finish your first season, you kind of get the used to it. And that's where they're like, okay, I like this team or I didn't like that team. How do I find another one? I want my kid to continue. And that's where some of them will reach out to me and I can work with them to say, okay, how did that season go? What can we do to make sure that you get to the team that fits your child's playing style and skills and level to make sure that those earned minutes are being used in a way that's effective for them. Yeah.
Okay. Can you touch on the price difference between competitive ball and house league ball? Please and thank you.
Okay. Well, if you are in the finance world, the
Mm-hmm.
price difference is like a 10 to a 2, let's say. Okay. At the competitive level, you're paying to be on the team. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
there's a deposit that you make, and deposits are often non-refundable. And so far, the minimum that I've seen for team deposits has been about like 500. Okay, so if you have two kids
Jeez.
like me, like times two. Okay,
Phew. All right
deposit
then. Mm-hmm.
non-refundable. Okay. Probably you may actually be spending just that 500 for that for that whole season or 12 weeks or 13
Right.
weeks. You get your
Okay.
t-shirt. Sometimes they give them an extra ball. Sometimes at the end they give you some food. You do like a whole bunch of things to get that. At a competitive
Mm-hmm.
level, no.
Mm-hmm.
You also have to understand the fee that you're paying goes into the actual team uniform that you get. Some of them get like a top and bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Some teams give shirts. Some teams give practice shirts, backpacks. Some teams get jerseys. So whatever the fees are, when you're being welcome or onboarded to that team, most often they will include it in there. And if it isn't, you have every right to ask, where is this money going to? You also
Mm-hmm.
have to understand that money is also going towards a coach because it's a business for the coach as
Right.
well too. So, they got to feed themselves. They got to put gas in their car. They have to rent the facilities for you guys to
Right.
do your practices. They have to book and pay for tournaments for you to go to. If they have a team manager, the team manager may be paid or they could be doing it voluntary if their child is on the team. So the minimum I have ever seen for the competitive, and this is about maybe 3 years ago, was about 1,100. That's
For
the
the
minimum. Right now,
for
the
this for
average
the
is
season.
for the season, and that's just for the paying to be on the team. Mind you, that doesn't
Per
include you
child. Hold
traveling
on.
and paying.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Per child. Okay. Per
yeah, yeah,
child for those
right.
multi children
Yeah,
families. Per child. Okay. Sorry.
yeah, yeah. So let's say currently the minimum is about 2,500 per child to be on a team. Okay, you're on it, but when you're going for tournament, you have to eat because sometimes depending on where the tournament is, you can't go and come back. So you have to budget for that. Your gas to get there, you have to budget for that. There's also an entrance fee. Yes, we pay 1,200 for our kid to play on this team, but when we get there to watch, we have to pay to enter to watch them and play. So that's additional fee that comes in. You see, I can hear the ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching going on.
Uh,
Seriously.
for those who are listening, you are not seeing my facial expressions. But sorry,
Yeah.
carry on. Carry on.
Okay. So it's a lot. It's a lot that adds up to it. And that's where sometimes you when the kids don't get that opportunity to be on the court to execute their skills, it's not
Right.
because they're not talented, it's because most parents are thinking, I'm paying for this and I'm not seeing the root of my payment. Like, what is going
Mm,
on? So that's where
mm-hmm.
a lot of things can get a little iffy and edgy at times. But everybody always says in the end, when you see the results for your kid, that they're actually enjoying being part of the team, they're enjoying whatever is within that group dynamic, then you kind of realize, okay, it's not so bad after all. So that's like the justification that you kind of make for yourself. You know, what's the end
Right.
goal here? Is it because the 2000 I could have used that to buy a new car or new shoes or new shirt or pay my mortgage or pay whatever? Or is it because I'm using it to also help my child, you know, grow into what it is that they're destined to be or whatever their skill is? So it's a give and
Mm-hmm.
take, and every family dynamic is different. Everybody's decision is different.
Right. And budget.
One thing to be aware and budget, yes. But I think some parents or some people may not realize that you can actually work with the coach or the team manager for payment plan,
I was gonna
because
ask,
everybody's family income is
are there
different.
any type of uh bursaries or scholarships, or is this all just cash
This
to
is
club
parent
that
funded program.
okay.
It's all parent funded program,
Mm-hmm.
but depending on family financial dynamics, there are organizations that give that will help pay for your fees, but you have to
Okay.
apply to it. So there's
Okay.
something like the Jumpstart or from Canadian Tire, Kids
Mm-hmm.
in Sports. There's different or Play for Sports. I forgot what it's called. That will be able to provide you with a a subsequent a portion to be able to
Okay.
pay towards your fee. A
To
subset
help
of
you.
it. Some may pay for it all, and some may pay some portion of it, depending on what your criteria is. Now, if that's the route you go, you just let the team or the manager or the coach know that, hey, I get it, the fee is 2,500. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
pay 200 by the deposit, but I've applied for the funding here. When it comes, they actually made the payment directly in your name to your club. So it
Okay.
doesn't come to you, it goes to them directly. So that's another way of helping parents be able to continue to get their kids keep playing. Mind
No,
you, it's based on their qualification process, so not everybody qualifies, but for those who definitely qualify, I would say take that opportunity because every little penny helps.
definitely, definitely. I think, and also, I mean, I'm, bugging my eyes out on the price difference, but I get it because, as you know, as a entrepreneur, as a professional, I do understand the importance of investing in yourself. And so, as parents, it's almost our, not even almost, it is our duty to invest in our children to do
Yeah.
things that is going to help them to excel. And so it may seem like it's just basketball, but I know that with the competitive sport world, it's not just training your children to play the sport, right? They're training
No.
them on their mindsets, their discipline, right? You said the team player aspect of that, because these are all skill sets
Mhm.
that are transferable into the world to help them to be better
Yeah.
people in the ultimate community. So you are making an investment, and for
Mhm.
some, oh, I should take my earrings off. For some, out of pocket, it may seem like a lot, but as you said, there are some programmings available where they can apply for subsidies to support that. And I mean, if the child has
Yeah.
a gift, it's really, really, I believe it's our it's our responsibility to help foster that, right? And I know that House
Mhm.
League, it won't necessarily happen in that
In that
stream.
realm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, also don't know that for the competitive side, even though some kids are in it, there's two different levels. Some are doing it for the exposure and pushing forward towards a career path that they want,
Hmm.
versus some are doing it for the experience of being in a team,
Okay.
experience of all the various things that you mentioned that you can come get out of it. Most people get a lot of good things out of it, whether it's hard lessons or good lessons.
Right.
But you can tell the different levels, those who say, okay, you know what, like, for example, I don't know, Michael Jordan, maybe he was 11 years old and somebody saw his skills. You can see that at his age and they're helping pushing that. You could be to that level if you want. Or somebody's like, yeah, you're not really at that level, but you know what? Continue to do this still be within the sports world, still learn
Right.
etiquette, still learn dedication, still learn conditioning, still learn team play,
Yeah.
still learn how to lose and win. And when you're done, you go to your regular university, you do the career you want, you're still a sports. So there's a lot of other people, as they always say, in other parts of the industry or world that used to be athlete. Doesn't mean they necessarily use that sport to become an actual professional athlete. But
Right.
what they learn by being an
The skill
athlete
sets.
helps
Yeah.
them. Yeah, it's that it helps them into whatever else that their career path has
Choose to
taken them.
do. Right.
So understanding the difference between that, it's like, okay, it's great to be on it, but there's one for exposure towards into a professional career within the sports world as an athlete or whatever that you're choosing to be, versus the experience of being in a team, being a competitive team, being part of it, being an athlete, discipline, and also using that towards the next path of your life career. It may not always be in sports, but maybe it's still
Right.
surrounding it. Yeah. And
Right.
I always
Right.
say, I didn't play basketball, and I'm glad I didn't play basketball because I'm a trash talker, so I probably wouldn't have survived.
Oh my God. That's hilarious.
So, so it's a good thing. But the very small sports that I did in school, I say helped me in some ways
Mm-hmm.
in my career path. I'm not necessarily doing javelin or shot put or cross country, but I learned one or two things that's helping me in it.
Right.
But within the basketball and soccer world, a lot of parents were former players and former athletes. So they come in with the
Yes.
knowledge. So that competition level gets really intense because some parents try to offset their skills that they were in it into the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And that becomes an issue at times versus some parents having the hard stop to say that was then and this is now, and that transitioning to say, okay, what I learned then may not be different. How do I adapt? So sometimes
Right.
I have to like stop in between, be like, okay, yeah, you played in 1987, but it's 2003. It's
Mm.
different kind of game. They're still dribbling the ball into a net or a goal or whatever,
The
but the
foundation's
process,
the same,
yeah,
but yeah.
it's
Mm-hmm.
there's a dynamics and everything is different. So just that learning and understanding in it helps the kids know that I love playing,
Mm-hmm.
but do I really want to do this for the rest of my life, right? But in
Right.
the meantime, what can I get from it? And say I'm part of this team and I love it. And I'm ready to go practice. I'm ready to go play. I'm ready to like
Right.
that's what gets me going when I see the kids are excited to just be on that team and do what they have to do. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So as a mom, because this is the Mama Means Business show. And so
Yes.
yes, you're running a business, but how do you I mean, you said, you've been a previous athlete, and so some of those skill sets are helping you right now, but how do you manage? I don't even like the word manage. Yeah, how do you effectively manage to do it all?
I
Mom
just
of two
do.
boys, no, we need more than that. The people need to know how Gifty, right? Mom of two,
Oh,
running this business, supporting the community. I'm assuming
yeah.
taking care of you too, right? We're gonna get to
Yes.
that part too, right?
Yes.
Like how do you what are some tools that you have to actively use to keep you on the ball? Let's use that. On the ball.
So my calendar is my number one go-to, and notes on my phone. So I have an iPhone and there's this thing called Notes, and it's
Mm-hmm.
my ever walking notes. And I also have a physical book. I know we're staring at each other now, but I have like a physical notebook that I write everything in.
Okay.
Just so that I can say, okay, this week is what I'm trying to do. I used to do daily journaling and all of that, and I just found I overthink too much, and I write it. When I go back, my writing is bad. I can't read it well, so I'm like, okay, forget that. I spent too many time trying to decipher what I wrote, so I stopped. And I was like,
Well,
okay,
you should be doing it while you're awake, okay? Right when
oh,
you're awake.
right. Oh my God. But I use my note to write down in my calendar. So if there's something that I know I had in, I put in my calendar and I have a reminder that comes in. As the thoughts come in, and most often my thoughts come to me when I'm washing dishes or cooking, which is weird, and when I'm
Mm-hmm.
driving. So the time I can't sit and write,
Time when
that's
you
when
can't, right?
like, oh my gosh. So I do that. And that's just scheduling. So, and I also communication. I communicate with my family, I communicate with my husband, I communicate with the kids and say, hey, this week, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm gonna be. Scheduling with their games and tournaments and practices because they're Monday, one has practice. Tuesday, one has practice. Wednesday, another has practice. Thursday, another has practice. Okay, this Friday, we have it open. Okay, maybe this Friday, they want to go for additional training. But Saturday, Sunday, we have a game. Okay, there's no game on Sunday. Okay, we have church. Like just scheduling on a consistent basis.
Mm-hmm.
But I share the calendar with them on their phone so we all see where everybody is supposed to be.
Oh,
So
that's a
just
cool tool.
communicating and just consistently being up to date. And of course, even though I share, they still ask, but that's okay. At least it's
Mm-hmm.
in their calendar. Be like,
Developing that skill set. That's all it is. Develop that skill set.
calendar, it's right there, it's shared. We're gonna be here at this location, this date, this time. And then when there's really no game or tournament, we just do house chores. We do family things like just eat, watch TV, go to church, to see family, and just relax. But on a week or day-to-day basis, because I have a regular full-time job that I do. I
Come
have
on now.
employees.
Come on now. See what I mean? See what I mean? You have your hands full,
Yes,
right?
yes. So this has
Mm-hmm.
been, I think in previous years, people used to say side hustle. This is not really a side anymore. It's an addition. So I'm not doing
Mm-hmm.
it on the side. I'm doing it in addition. I have a fulfilling, career that I have, but this passion has also pivoted me to say, okay, let me take it serious because it's a need and it's a
Right.
void that I'm fulfilling or a niche that I'm fulfilling. So doing that, I balance it in there. There'll be times where I'll be like, okay, guys, I'm on my phone. I'm going to be doing this for a while. Go to your room, quiet, and that's my time. So they know, okay, I'm like, I'm doing work, and there's work, and then there's home. Like I kind of separated it, but it's mainly more communication. That's it. I
Okay.
talk a lot and let them know this is what I'm doing. Okay, I can't pick her up from school, take the bus because I have this at this time. Okay,
Right.
let's do this. So just it's a continuous communication. So they know what it is I'm doing. So like, wait, what is she doing? And sometimes it's like, I just need to be in the couch and watch my show. That's my moment.
Which leads to my next question. What does mama do to take care of mama?
I go to the gym
Okay.
4 times a week, and it's
Okay.
weird. Back in some time ago, when I used to listen to a lot of podcasts, I used to hear all these women, oh, I make 6 figures and blah, blah, blah. I wake up in the morning, I do my prayers, I go to the gym. I'm like, good. But I wake up in the morning, figure out what's for lunch, what's for breakfast, what time, when did they, who has to be where and what, and blah, blah, blah. And when I used to drive to the office trying to assess traffic and everything, but thankfully I've been working from home since COVID. So there's blessings in COVID. I'm not
For
gonna lie.
sure.
um, After they go to school, I wake up 6 o'clock every day with an alarm. No word, like it's just my body just wakes up automatically, regardless of what time I go to bed. I'm up at 6. And then I just start working a little bit while they're getting ready for school. Once
Mm-hmm.
they're in school, I go to my gym and I work for an hour. It's a group exercise. I come back, I refresh, and just continue my work. So literally,
Okay.
my lunchtime for work is in the morning, which is the 9 to 10
9 o'clock class.
that I go to it. Yeah, that's it. Because
Get it
in
in
the
wherever you
evening,
can. Get it in. And that helps with the mental
exactly,
health part of it too, right? Because
it
if
does.
there's no release and you're doing all of that, I'm telling you, burnout is a for real
It is.
thing.
Yeah,
For
and I'd
real
rather be
thing.
burned out with pain because I worked on my muscles than be burned out
Facts.
because I'm just drained.
Facts.
Yeah, so that's what I do. I don't do like a tea or massages. I did massage once or twice. I mean, it varies depending on what I feel I need.
Right.
And one other therapy I do is I will just go and do my hair, which actually I'm gonna go do a little bit later today. And that's just my self-care for myself. Every Friday, if there's nothing, everybody just chill on their own, and I just go on Netflix and just watch my shows. And that's it. Like
Okay,
that's my
that's so important. I'm an advocate of figuring out what works for you, but
yeah,
you definitely have to carve out time for you. You have to carve out time for you.
yeah,
I feel like that's a part where um that sometimes moms forget. And not because, not even to say just forget, they really don't have the flexibility to incorporate it into,
Mhm.
and then it becomes like obsolete, like it's not even something that they would consider. And
Yeah,
you
it
know,
becomes second thought. And I think
yeah,
sometimes we think of it like it's a guilt. And
yeah,
what made me actually start taking the gym serious, and it was actually last year during March break, I had booked everything. I always use March break to do all of their doctor's appointment. I took them to physio, and then they went for massage. And while they're there being massaged, I'm sitting there like, this is not right. Like it's good for them, but what about me? So on the way home, I just made a detour, went straight to my gym, and I said I signed up right there and then, and I went to class
right,
that night, and I said I'm gonna have me in the schedule.
for
All the
sure.
scheduling we're doing, I'm gonna put my time in there, and that made sense. And they actually encouraged because there'll be days they're like, "Are you not going to the gym?" I'm like, "You're right, I'm gonna go," because they can see my face where you're kind of over talking. Maybe I shouldn't. They're like, no,
Hmm.
no, go, go. Mind you, they want me to go so they can have their quiet time at home too, which is great. I'm fine.
Whatever works, but you got to fit it
Whatever
in. So
works.
any mama who's
Yeah,
listening, please be sure to be insistent on including yourself into this chaotic schedules that we do juggle from day to day. Take care of
yeah.
yourself.
It's a good therapy. Trust me. I always
It's
say,
yeah, like mentally, physically, like all spiritually, like it you need that. Whatever you choose. There was a period of time during COVID. For me, my self-care was literally just sleeping. Like I mean, I sleep during the
that's
night,
my
but
goal.
if I'm in the if in, I mean during the day, if I feel like I need to rest, I just did it. I didn't question it. There could be I would move the laundry on the other side of the bed and make enough space for myself. Like I just had to rest. And like literally that, and you, when you said, COVID had its positive, and that's something that I recognize for myself that I needed, that I hadn't been doing before. And
Yeah,
so yeah, on any
you
given
need it.
day, you might find one on a couch, on my
Yeah,
bed, on my
yeah.
son's bed, wherever it is that I feel like I need the rest, I'm gonna take it. I'm not, yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
not playing.
Another thing I think is good, even though it kills on the gas, is I'll just drive. And while I'm driving, I'll just call one of my friends and we just talk and just
Mm-hmm.
talk about everything and anything, just laugh,
Mm-hmm.
stupid shows, or I don't know, whatever topic comes to mind. We just talk and be like,
Right.
okay, I'm going home now. All right, bye. Boom. And that's it.
Have an outlet. That's no, that's cool too, because that children parenting role, like you need
Yeah,
some level conversation, right? Level
yeah,
of conversation, adult
yeah,
stuff. So
yeah.
that's good.
I always say
Ident
I was here before you, so I need to still keep you here when you're gone. That's it. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so Mama, as a business owner, as a mom, as an employee, as we talked about, time is very, very sparse. What has been like your biggest challenge or obstacle in you building your business and maintaining all of your other roles?
The biggest obstacle was personally trying to second guessing myself, actually,
Mm,
wondering if this was really viable. Did anybody care? Like, what is this? Because, like I said, I'm not a former, like the sports that I'm helping. I didn't play it. I didn't play soccer. I didn't play basketball. So
mm-hmm,
the second guessing was like, is she doing this so that her kids can be famous or something? Is she doing this?
mm,
Um, so that people know her? Is she doing this? Like that. And I don't know if anybody questioned those, but those are the questions that I was always asking myself.
mm-hmm.
Until I had a really good conversation with a friend, and she was like, what you're providing is valuable. Like, I appreciate that. I was like, oh, and it was like a minute thing that I posted. I was like, really? She's like, yeah, this
Yeah,
is. I was like, okay. So that kind of helped me realize not to overthink and be too much in over myself.
right,
Not to lose the reason why I like to share, because I that's me. I like to share. If there's something on sale that I see, I'm the first to like boom, 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 boom. If something like
right,
that's just me, I'm a share person. So I
right,
don't want to overthink that anymore. And that's something that I've learned, and I'm getting comfortable in saying, you know what, even if two people say they like it, at least you've done something. If I can help one person, that's great. I'm not
Mm,
here to save the multitudes. I'm here to do one at a time. And that's all I'm trying to do. So that's a consistent thing I tell myself every single time to help me stay grounded. So I'm not
mm.
overthinking. Yeah.
I love that because I heard you say you go to church a few times, so we can talk some faith talk right about now because I truly I know as an entrepreneur, I've been an entrepreneur for over 20 years. Self-sabotage is for real. And it stems from the enemy who has those that
The itty bitty shitty voice.
drive. Yeah, like he was just like, no, 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 no. You are not going to do what the spirit has told you to do. I'm going to put everything in your way that's going to stop you from fulfilling the promises that God has placed in you. Like I know that, like it's a full-time job for him,
Yes.
right? So when you are doing what you've been um
Called
pushed
to
to do,
do.
called to do.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the word.
Yeah.
That's called to do. You're gonna hear those things like, is it valuable? Is it valuable? Is it viable? Am I really, does it really make sense? Is anybody gonna support? But you said from the beginning, you identified that there was a gap. There was information that is not readily accessible to the parents of these athletes that will help them to pursue this this career of, or even the interest and
Hmm.
development, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, the overcoming that self, those negative self talks,
God.
those words, those
Yeah.
discouragement, is
Yeah.
that in itself is something that you have to be very vigilant in counteracting.
Yes, yes.
And
And
so
I use Pinterest a lot to get a lot of good positive motivation words for myself and just read it.
mm,
I watch a lot of comedies on like TikToks just to laugh it out, so I'm not overthinking it.
right,
So those are things like just not to be feel overwhelmed. And there are days I'm like, okay, you don't have to be on social every day. It's okay.
come
Like
on now,
it's
that's a whole
fine.
sermon in itself.
It's
That's a
okay.
whole sermon in
It's okay.
itself.
And learning to control my time because I sometimes I will I see so many messages. I'm like, yeah, it's read, but I will reply to you when I've scheduled my time. This is my reply process. And some have
Hmm.
been late. I'm like, sorry, the time slot you set, I wasn't available then. But next time I will try to, get back to you within the time lot. And that's just me controlling my time. Because I literally tell the boys the same thing. Like if I'm talking to you on your phone, your attention span is divided. I don't like that. So
Right.
my time is dedicated to you when you're talking to me. My time is dedicated when somebody's talking to me. I dedicate these times, and that over the years has helped me. Because before it was like 24/7. I'd be on, oh my God, am I missing something? No. Now it's like, no. I scale it in a way that I'm not 100%. You don't have to be 24/7 chimed in or plugged
Right.
in. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So for any mama who's listening, I would like you to offer one word or even maybe a quote. You said you go to Pinterest for your own um inspirational words, but like what can you tell a mom who's listening who may be juggling a lot, right? Like your job, children, sports, business, and maybe feel like, she can't do it or it's not working out. What can you let her know that she could be reassured that it will?
The doubt that you're having is also it's a motivation.
Mm,
You're doubting it because you know your potential and don't give in to that doubt.
mm.
And the worst, and also no is a complete sentence. Just know that not everybody's gonna love you. It's okay. I always say even Jesus had Judas, so that's
Come
okay.
on. Come on.
So,
Come on.
don't worry about it. Do what you can with what you got. And it's a journey. Like I've been on this journey for a while. I always say, and wherever it's leading me, that's going through. But adding into the faith side of it is when I'm feeling really tight, jitty, and the doubts and the weirdness and wondering, should I say this or not? that's when I pray, say, God, I think and I pray it's your footsteps that I see, because
Mm-hmm.
if I look down, I may fall down. So just
Mm-hmm.
continue to carry me so I don't look down and then fall. Let me trust you that you're carrying me and it's your foot sand in the sand, your foot in the
Yes.
sand. I just keep going. So those are the things I keep saying. It's a consistent conversation. So like I just go lie down on my knee and pray, hallelujah type of thing. But it's that constant conversation saying, oh, I sense the doubt coming in. Please help me overcome that. Give me a
Mm-hmm.
light. Is this conversation I'm having with that person, is that you? It's okay. Let me pay attention to what they're saying. Let
Yes.
me hear the messages coming in. Is this like, I'm always looking, like there's signs everywhere. Like, okay, this is
Right.
good. And then I'm like, okay, let me think on that to make sure that I cultivate that in a positive way to lead, so I don't go back to the doubt. That's it.
Right.
We
Right.
just consistently talking. Like our heads are always talking. We have multiple tabs open. I just always say being mindful of the talk that's coming in. Don't give up. It's okay. You're being challenged for a reason. And keep going. I would say, Moses and his people walked through the valley and went through the middle of the sea for how many days? They had no idea where they were going, but they arrived. So I'm
Come on.
going. I mean that I'm in
You should
it.
be
I'm in
having
this
church up in
river.
here today. We're having church,
I'm
Gifty.
in the river.
You know
Yeah.
what? I truly believe that business is a ministry, right? And so if in fact you're operating your business as a ministry, then you definitely have to understand that you're in partnership
Mhm.
with God. So you should be checking in with him. And when you consistently check in with him, it'll help to keep those feelings and emotions at bay, and which will allow
Yeah.
you to operate in the fullness of what it is you're
Mhm.
supposed to do. So yes, I touch and agree with you, sister.
Thanks. Yeah,
All
it's
right.
a journey. It's a journey.
It
Yeah.
definitely is. It definitely is. So one last question for you before we go. We tell the people where to find you.
All
What
right.
is the one, if one, what is the message, or what is it that you would like your boys to receive from seeing how you are doing building business, how you are, raising them as, young men in home, but also on the court. You're a believer, so you're instilling the importance of knowing whose they are. And of course you're doing you work a job. Like what is the lesson that you want your children to take away from what they see mama doing?
Keep pushing. Keep pushing. I may not see the result yet. Like I said, it's been 5 years or so.
Hmm.
But I'm still pushing and I have a goal I'm trying to attain. And sometimes it gets windy. But just keep pushing. Like it's not always going to be straightforward.
Right.
So it's just when it's odd, we go with it. It is
Right.
sometimes we can't handle it and sometimes we can, but just keep going.
Just
That's
keep
it.
going.
Yeah.
Love it. Love
Yeah,
it. Love
what they
it.
call keep swimming. This is like a little picture of a fish or something. I think that was
Hmm.
from Finding Dory or something. Yeah, keep swimming. I
Keep
don't
swimming.
swim, but keep swimming. Yeah.
You know? That's hilarious.
On dry land. Yeah.
All right. So where do you have anything coming up? What's next for Baller Mom or the Baller Mom
Um,
Canada?
So I have an event that I'm in the works putting together in May. Last year I launched it, which was a mom's night out, which put together all the different moms because I talked to so many different people and I want everybody to sort of, especially those in the Toronto area, to also meet and get to know each other. So it's more like a networking, meet
Mm-hmm.
and greet, info sharing, and not just only through virtual, but in person.
Okay.
It was successful, and some of them have asked those who couldn't make it, saying, "When's the next one?" So I'm in the process of putting that together, putting all the details together,
Awesome.
where they will come in. There'll be food, music, and just tea or coffee or something. I don't know. Can't be drinking and trying to get all
Facts.
wild
Facts.
out. Yeah. So that's one thing I'm in the works of putting together, and hopefully that will go well for the second year.
Yes.
And I mean, that is an annual thing that I do, and dads will be allowed to come as well too, because there's a lot of really good sports dads out there. They're much dedicated as much as the moms. So
Sidebar.
definitely invitation for it.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. I know it's you just recalled, you just brought something to memory. So because I get this all the time. My Instagram community is mortgages for moms. Baller Mom, do you get the dads that say, "What about the dads?"
Yes. Yeah, I get that. I get that a lot. And actually, now it's getting better because that's why I always say this is Gifty from BallerMom. So they realize that the name is BallerMom and I'm a mom. Doesn't mean it's only just for moms, right? It's for
Right.
parents. So as my slogan says, reason for sports, parents, right? It's for
Mm-hmm.
parents or their guardians, whatever. It's not just only for moms. The only reason
Okay.
the mom is because I'm a mom. And so that's where
Facts.
the mom comes in. So I'm not putting anybody who's a dad or a grandpa and uncle on the
Right.
sideline because if anything, they're even more involved than even the mothers. Trust me. They are
Right.
more
Right.
on the competitive side. They're in it. They're more dedicated. They're more supportive. And it's beautiful. So I want to encourage them to continue to, support and come to the page. A lot of the dads I communicate with are open and always had similar questions as the parents do. And what
For
I actually
sure.
find sometimes is within the household, it's either two, the moms and dads are always at a game, or you will see just the dads or just the moms. But whatever it is, family dynamics are different. So I always say, regardless, that child is there, somebody brought them there, is a
Right.
support. So where my focus comes in. That support for
Okay.
that child. That's it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So where can the people find you, Gifty?
So if you search Baller Mom on Google, I should come up. All my handles are at BallerMom Canada. So I live on Instagram because that's where I'm most
Mhm.
comfortable with. But
Yes.
I do have a Facebook, Twitter. I have TikTok that I just watch things, but I haven't posted anything. So I have to gear up my social media on that side to figure out how that metrics work on that side.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, mainly Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and then my website, ballermom.ca. That's also available on there. And
Awesome.
either one, you can email me, ballermomcanada@gmail.com, and I mostly reply within 46 to 36 hours or so, like I said, based on my scheduling and how this is my
Okay.
space to be able to deal with emails. I will reply back and make
Awesome.
sure that whatever support you need is there. Yeah.
Awesome.
I
Thank
also wanted to plug in.
Okay.
When I started, it's been free. I've been giving all this service for free, just constantly sharing, blah, blah, blah. But like you said, when you're being called and you keep ignoring, God brings you to the water and you're like, you lick it and you move away. And it's like, but you're thirsty. Hello, I'm feeding you. What are you doing? I had to listen. So
Mm-hmm.
I pivoted to now providing a charged service where I'm actually doing one-on-one personalized support for parents based on their specific need for their child. So even though I'm
That's
still sharing
amazing.
to the general masses, I'm providing that one-on-one specific to unique to that particular family that needs it. And I launched it, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and so far it's going. And then
Ooh. Oh,
my husband's like, I told
congratulations.
you this. Everybody's like, I told you this. I'm like, oh, okay. So that's where the itty bitty doubts I had to overcome and say,
Yes.
just launch it, just go for it. So yeah, I'm grateful for
Oh, that's
that.
amazing.
I'm so
Congratulations.
scared, but yeah, thank
Well, this is
you.
it.
Thank
Listen,
you.
I've learned through many of my coaches, if you have a product or a service and you can get one customer, that means you fulfill the need. So you just have to do what you
Yeah,
got to do to make sure you reach the right people. So congratulations on
thank you.
that pivot in your business, mama, about her business.
Business.
Come on, come
I
on.
love it. I love
Gifty,
it.
I'm
Yes.
so thankful that you decided to come on and join the Mama Means Business podcast. It's been a lovely, lovely time catching up with you. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm so appreciative.
Thank
We
you.
actually met through social media. We've never met in person, correct? No,
You
we
know,
haven't met in person.
I wanted to, yes, we haven't, but we do have mutual people that we know, but I've met,
Yes,
but I haven't met you yet, but that's okay. But I
that's
wanted to
okay.
plug this in for those listening. You were the first who actually got me out of my comfort zone. Because when I
Oh,
started, I was always behind the scenes. I had never shown my face anywhere. It was just random. And then when I was on one of your shows before, and it was Instagram was my first time speaking on camera
wow.
live, and I was nervous as hell, but you made it so comfortable. And
Oh,
from then I said, you know what, I could do this. And that's where during the lockdown, I actually took the initiative of being the interviewer and started different section of actually doing interviews and stuff like that. So it was through you and your confidence that you had in me, and you made me feel like, oh my God, Gifty, this is great. You talk a lot, but you can talk. I was like, oh my God.
oh my
So
God,
that
Gifty, why are you
definitely
trying to
helped.
make me
Thank
cry on
you
my
for
own
that.
show? Like, please, would
Oh
you
God,
stop?
no, honestly, come on, like
Oh, thank
I still
you.
remember to this day. So thank you so much. Thank you. I was nervous, and you assured me it was gonna be okay, and it was. And you
Wow.
guided me with the questions and answer, and I was like, wow. So yes, again, all those doubts was always there, but
Yeah.
the conversation with you calmed me down, and I always go back to it anytime. So I appreciate that.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you for that
Yeah.
feedback. I appreciate that. Well, yeah, well, you're doing amazing. You're doing amazing. You're a veteran now. You are, I see your lives popping up
Right.
and all of that, right? Oh, congratulations on your growth.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for saying yes
Thank
to
you.
me again. I'm your big supporter here. I may not be a basketball mom, but I'm a mom, and I'm gonna always support you. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining me. So, ladies, if you're listening, please, if you have a child who is interested in sports, or you see that they've got a gift, please connect with Gifty at ballermomcanada.ca or .com.
BallerMom.ca and BallerMom
Ballermom.ca.
Canada. All the socials. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Mainly Instagram. Instagram is where I live. So if you find, just pop in there and say hi, and I'm good. Yeah.
Amazing. All
But
right.
thank
You
you
all
so
have a
much.
great afternoon.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
listening to the Mama Means Business Show. We will be back with another episode in the short time soon. Please remember to subscribe, like, send a review. And we would greatly appreciate it. And that's it for now. All right. Bye.
Bye.